Hello, I'm Brian Lucareli, Director of our Private Client Services Group and Co-Chair of our Family Offices team at Foley and Lardner. And today I'm here with Jason Kohout, a partner and member of our estate planning group, as well as my Co-Chair of the Family Office team. So welcome, Jason.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep, and today we're going to discuss the recently passed the One Big Beautiful Bill. Jason, before we get started, would you mind, I know you've been a contributor before, but would you mind just credentialing yourself or just giving a little bit of your professional background? And then we'll jump right into it.
Sure. Brian, I'm an attorney here at Foley in the Milwaukee office in the tax and estate trust area. I work a significant amount of my time with clients who own businesses or have charitable intentions. So it's really an interesting practice. And of course, this bill has been quite of interest to some of our clients.
I imagine. So why don't we just jump right into it? So big question number one. So what's the new state of play for the gift tax / unified credit exemption?
So for our clients who are waiting or we're wondering, am I going to have to make a contribution a gift this year? The answer is no. So up until the passage of the bill, the estate tax exemption, the unified credit gift and estate tax exemption was $13.9 million, and it was going to revert back to about 7.5 at the end of the year if Congress didn't do anything. But as part of the bill, that estate tax exemption, gift and estate tax exemption, is now going to be $15 million permanent on January 1. And the good news is that it's a permanent provision. It doesn't change. It doesn't sunset. And it will increase by inflation over time. So that'll be the current state of affairs. There won't be a drop off or use it or lose it at the end of this year.
Well, that's good news. So
it's exciting news for the clients who are waiting because we're not going to be pressured to do something at the end of the year. And for practitioners, it's very exciting news because it means that, we might see our families in September, October, November, December. So we were all waiting for it, and here it came. So we're appreciative that there's a little bit of finality, or there's a little bit of finality in this world. It's worth saying, Brian, that it's only as permanent as the next Congress. So the law is that it won't change, but if there's a new Congress, new president someday down in the future, this could all change, right? So we don't know what can happen. It means that maybe for the next year or 2 or 3 years, rather, that we'll have some certainty about what the exemption will be.
Well, that's great. So carrying on with that theme, I know there were some other things potentially in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Are there any other planning opportunities that you're going to be counseling clients on or they should be looking at? Yeah,
so it was just passed a week ago, or just signed a week ago. So we have had some ability to look at the bill. And more importantly, you take the provisions in the bill and you try to figure out what you're going to do for planning if there's opportunities there. I don't necessarily see huge opportunities. The key parts for our clients, our high net worth individuals, was the tax rate stayed the same. The QB deduction stayed about the same. And the general tax rate stayed about the same or were extended. There was a nice pickup for qualified small business stock. That exemption moves from $10 million to $15 million. There was a few changes to the charitable income tax deduction and the SALT deduction. So the SALT deduction moved from a $10 million cap to a $10,000 cap to a $40,000 cap. There's been some discussion about focusing on using trusts to try to get either that deduction or to allow a trust to enjoy that deduction. So the issue is that the SALT deduction, the $40,000 cap, which is a nice increase from $10,000, but the problem is that it phases out over your income, phases out at $500,000 income. So for many clients, they're still not going to be able to enjoy that. But the thinking is that, well, what if you have a non-grantor trust, and the non-grantor trust could enjoy that $40,000 SALT limitation? You know, if you had a trust that has stood it on its own, it's going to pay its own income tax, it's entitled to that state and local tax deduction. So we may be talking to clients. I've already started talking with clients about, does it make sense to, use a non-grantor trust as opposed to a grantor trust, which is, I'd say, probably the default. There's some changes to how charitable income tax deductions work for individuals. So there's a floor now. If you itemize your charitable income tax deductions, you lose 0.5. Sorry, you don't get to take an income tax deduction unless you're in excess of 0.5% of your income. You also lose a part of your income tax deduction if you're in the higher marginal rate, just a portion, 2/37. We'll see if people are, if that changes behavior. It is possible that people begin to use non-grantor trusts to make charitable income tax deductions, because a non-grantor trust has a different rule for charitable income tax deductions. You would receive a full amount for charitable gift from a non-grantor trust. We'll see if those impact our clients, if they're willing to kind of go down that road to get a full income tax deduction. But I could see those as possibilities, or at least I think a little bit more focus on using the non-grantor trust. I think that's already been the case because we have clients who can avoid state income tax by using a non-grantor trust. So we've seen a growth in that area in the last years in that type of planning.
Got it. Anything else that our audience should be considering before we sign off?
I think the big takeaway from the bill was that for our clients, high net worth individuals, business owners, there are quite a few good things that extended what was going on. So there won't be changes, the changes that could have happened if we didn't have a extension. But for the most part, things continue as is. We're not currently seeing huge planning opportunities that are going to revolve around this bill. But we're going to study it for the next few months here and see if there's things that we can take advantage of.
Great. Well, Jason, unless there's anything else, I want to thank you as always for sharing your personal insights. I know you've been extremely busy, and I want to thank all of you for watching our presentation. For more information, please visit us at Foley.com under Family Offices. Thank you.